many questions. And now the kid's at it again. I guess it isn't fair to call him a kid, since he has a wife and 2 kids of his own. My nephew has his own life, but he's painfully interested in mine. Especially what I left behind all those years ago.
Uncle,
Yes,
were you there?
that's what I thought. He's always bothering me about it. Go home, your wife is calling.
I just want to know, why would you talk to me about it?
It's not my place to explain everything.
Don't you want us to know the truth?
It's none of your business.
Uncle, you were alive when our faith was born. You were part of it.
No, I wasn't a part of it. Jerusalem was a big city, even then.
I don't want just rumors. I want to tell my children the truth, and you know the truth, because you were there, weren't you?
I'm beginning to hate the day my sister married. Why couldn't she go to her grave without giving birth to this irritating man? This upstart wants me to reveal everything hidden in my heart. For I was there, you see. I saw the troops at the Praetorium, the jeers and the weeping of the crowd, the procession through the streets. I saw everything. Every last ugly part. If it is faith, then it doesn't need history to make it come to life, or keep it alive.
That's not why. There are different shades of faith, Uncle. Some are like the husk of wheat, lighter than air, blown by the wind, so thin light shines through. Others are more substantial, like the homespun of a new cloak. Others are like the foundation of the temple, solid and strong, resilient. If I can learn more about what Jesus went through that day, maybe my faith will be more like those temple stones.
What do you expect me to tell you?
The truth.
Surely your mother told you.
Every time I ask, she says that you were a hero, someone the people looked up to. But she says it with anger, and I don't know why. Why does it make her angry that you were a hero?
Your mother never understood who I was.
Then who were you?
Telling him would be like picking open a deep wound that's finally healed over, not having to stop.
Mama.
Or maybe I owe it to her. And his mother. Her silence is the sound of my pain. Her anger the price of my guilt. Maybe that deep wound has become gangrenous and rotten, festering under the surface like a silent cancer. Maybe the best thing is to open up to the light of day. The fresh air of a time that doesn't know the darkness through which it's passed. I lay awake that night, deep inside Herod's palace. I had seen them before, so even though I couldn't see, I could see in my mind the hands chiseling rough wood, not bothering the smooth surface, just shaping it crudely for its one purpose. They would be left splintered and coarse, like the little curse of a house that was just being covered over in plaster. 2 of these pieces were for my comrades in the next cell, and 1 was for me. They wouldn't be covered with plaster, but with our blood and flesh. To the Romans, we were criminals, guilty of insurrection, theft, murder. Yes, we had murdered and taken property, but only in the name of our nation and our God, which is why, to our fellow Jews, we were not criminals, but heroes. We only did the deeds they wished they had the courage to do. All of us hated the Romans, and they hated us as well. In their eyes, we were little more than dogs, simple-minded vermin to be trampled on and ruled with an iron fist. We had few rights, except the right to pay back-breaking taxes to a government not our own. There was a commotion outside the cell walls. The light from torches spread across the floor of the cell as I heard the sound of troops marching overhead. Then I heard the distant voices. The soldiers ignored the crowd. They were bored by it all. A tense calm always came with the arrival of a special prisoner. This place was normally busy with all the commotion that goes on with the military that covers guard. But whenever someone important arrived, friend or foe, everything became quiet and nervous. Scum, like me, would be hauled in with very little ceremony. But the arrival of a political prisoner would silence the din. So now, with the hushed discipline of the soldiers, I knew someone special had just arrived. I wasn't sorry for what I did. I would have done anything to get rid of the Romans. Israel belongs to God, not Rome. And though they considered my acts to be crimes, I considered them to be acts of justice. Ours is a small land, with no designs on any other, yet we've been repeatedly invaded, abused, thrown into bondage and exile, and now possessed and humiliated by a heathen nation. No, God would honor what I did in his name. And apparently I'd be seeing him soon, for we were about to be crucified. There is no worse way for a Jew to die. It's a hateful thing to die on a tree. My only hope was that God would credit to my account that it was Roman law that put me there, not his.
Then you knew Jesus.
No, we traveled in different circles.
But you knew of Jesus.
Not compressed in the past. Jerusalem's always been filled with mystics and prophets. They've sold themselves on street corners, and every one of them carried a little band of followers that proclaimed their teaching as the only truth. Besides, everyday life isn't nearly so tidy. People were still struggling to feed their families. Women were still having babies. The streets were still a mess, and taxes were too high. Oh, we didn't know the Savior had arrived. I can't tell if he's ashamed of me or just saddened by my ignorance. To him, Jesus is everything. He can't understand why we didn't think the same.
So you didn't know he was there in front of Pilate?
I knew someone was there. Someone important. That was all. They don't give a front row seat to condemned prisoners.
I'm sorry, Uncle. Forget what it must have been like for you.
For the most part, so did I. A raised courtyard encircled the area where the governor held his public appearances. I couldn't hear a word he said, but I could hear the voices of the people shouting on the pavement of the Praetorium. There was a cadence to their shouting. Crucify him! Crucify him! And a pause, then, Barabbas! Another pause, then, crucify him! Let him be crucified! I gave him seal. And then one last chance for a pardon. Passover. The governor and police, one prisoner of the people's choosing. I was known to them. I hoped they might put my name before Pilate. But maybe I'd gone too far this time. When we killed one of the Romans, they didn't just punish the murderer. They made life miserable for everyone else. Now, maybe I've become too dangerous. Not just for the Romans, but for my own people. So when that rusty cell door was pried open, and it was the sound of death, I knew they hauled me outside, stripped me, and chained me to be scourged. After the flesh on my back had been shredded, I'd be made to carry the crosspiece of my death to Golgotha. And there, whatever was left of me would die. A long, agonizing death. Called me out of the cell and down the dark passage. The bright morning blinded me as they opened the outside door. The soldiers looked angry, and I didn't know why. They should be pleased, I thought, to execute someone who had killed one of their own. Cursing, they shoved me down to the pavement. My shackles were removed, I thought, so that I could be chained and scourged.